Those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being educated in such topics as personal injury law, community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
What a crummy day. I mean, I'm used to saying, it's really nice outside. What a crummy day. But guess what? We're here to entertain you for the next hour here on 740 AM. Ask the Experts. We'll also have another show today on 1470 from 5 to 6. I'm getting confused because next month, put this in your calendar, we will be going from 6 to 7. So you can enjoy your ride home with us. It'll be on Mondays and Thursdays, 6 to 7, starting in December. It's a time I've been wanting for probably the last 3 years. It's not easy getting time at this station. Let me get started. Today is our title company today, and I want to introduce you to the owner, Giovanni.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Good, buddy. Hey, you got a couple phone calls last time, people thanking us for putting your show on, and we're going to talk about your company, but we have a caller on the phone, Jeff, that we want to go to first. Hey, Jeff.
Hello?
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
You're on.
Oh, it's James. How's it going?
Oh, James, what's going on?
Hey, James, Jeff, it's close.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you. Yes, I had a question for Giovanni.
Okay.
All right, so it's pertaining the real estate as-is contract. The last signed signatures that we have were from, I represent the sellers. So we had a contract come in on our property. We countered their original offer, and I was waiting to hear back from that buyer's agent. He took about 3.5 days to answer me. So on that third day, I sent him an email form, letting him know that I still haven't received signatures, making it an executed contract, and that our sellers would like to cancel and go a different route. Now, he's stating that we had a verbal contract and that trumps the language that's on that as far as time period. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, first of all, with regards to when you're dealing with property in Florida, there is no such thing as a verbal contract, okay? So basically, with the as-is contract, what happens is when they submit you an offer, they give you a time period to respond. So I'm sure you responded within that time period.
Yeah.
And then basically, they have 2 days to respond. So what you said is they responded, you said you were waiting about 3.5 days, correct?
Yes, it went out Monday, and today being Thursday.
Yeah, so basically, once you responded, then they had 2 days to respond. So if they don't respond within those 2 days, basically your counteroffer expires. So if you do not want to proceed with that contract, you don't have to.
And it doesn't go back to the original offer. The counter would be the newest offer on their table, and if it's not signed within those 2 days, then we have the option of canceling and moving forward.
Yeah, so like basically in the contract, when the buyer submits the contract, they write in how many days till what day they're giving you to respond. So for example, let's say they gave you to this Friday to respond. Now you're going to do 3 things. You're either going to accept, you're not going to respond, or you're going to make a counteroffer. Of course, if you accept, you're under contract. If you make a counteroffer, now according to the contract, they have 2 days to respond. So you made a counteroffer, now they have 2 days to respond. And since they didn't respond within the 2 days, your counteroffer expires. So you can do whatever you want. You can go with this new contract if you want. Whatever you told them verbally. If you told them verbally, yes, we're going to accept your offer. If you told them by text, you're going to accept their offer. If you told them by email, it means nothing. Has to be in writing, signed by both parties within the 2 days, and delivered to you to be a valid contract. So there's nothing you really have to worry about if you decide to go a different way and go with a different buyer.
Beautiful. That's what I was thinking. I just needed some clarity from an expert.
Okay. Anything else?
Where
James?
should we send the check to? Why do you have a St. Louis number?
St. Louis. No, I'm not out of St. Louis. I'm out of actually Plantation, Florida.
Oh, it
The
shows.
phone number says 314.
No, that's not mine.
That's not you?
That's not
That's
me.
what we got, the wrong name, wrong phone number.
We're getting. Well, try us next month.
Yeah, it must be
We'll
the
do
weather.
better.
Well, I got the answer to my question, so you guys are doing well.
Thanks,
I
buddy.
appreciate it.
Stay
Thank
dry.
you.
Wow.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're all just all screwed up today. You know what? One of the reasons why people said they wanted a show about title from a title company is no one knows exactly what you do. So first of all, tell everybody about your company, and then tell them about what a title company does.
All right. Well, basically, I am a real estate attorney. I've been an attorney in South Florida for 22 years. My title company's been open for 16 years. We have offices in Boca, Davie, Las Olas, and Plantation. Basically, what we do is when a person is purchasing a house, they usually go to a realtor. Once they're under contract, the file goes to a title company. And we're the ones who basically hold the escrow money. We're the ones who do the title searches on the property to make sure title's clear. We're the ones who actually do the closing, like the transfer of the deeds, record the documents. We're the ones who disperse the checks.
Who decides what title company is going to be used?
Basically, it's kind of strange. In Dade and Broward, the buyer picks and pays.
Okay.
In Palm Beach, for instance, Boca, Delray, actually Orlando,
Where we are right
Tampa,
now.
the seller picks and pays. So pretty much everywhere in the state of Florida, the seller picks and pays. But in Dade and Broward, the buyer picks and pays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell me, what does the title company do?
So basically, we're actually like an insurance agent, is what we are. We're like an insurance company, but for property. Not like a homeowner's insurance. We're ensuring that you're getting clear title. So when we get a file, we do searches. We do searches with the city, the county, the state. We check for
No foreclosures.
Yeah, we check for open mortgages. We check for IRS liens, judgments, code violations, outstanding water bills, anything that would affect the title to that property. Because the goal is when we close, that the new buyer gets the property with no issues. Okay. So what we're doing is we're actually selling the buyer title insurance that if anything was to come up later on, they would be covered. So for instance, let's say we closed and, someone contacted them 6 months down the road and said, hey, we had a mortgage on your property that wasn't paid off. They make a claim on their title insurance policy and it's paid off. And the title insurance is just paid, it's one-time fee paid when they purchase the property, and it's for as long as they own the house. So even if something came up 10 years later, they're still covered. Also, like if they were to do a refinance, they get a discount on their closing costs with their title insurance policy. And the cost of the title insurance is actually regulated by the state of Florida. So it's all based on the sale price. So the higher the sale price, the more it is. But it's regulated like
So it's based on a percentage?
basically, yeah, yeah. So as I'm saying, so every title company truly is supposed to charge the exact same amount for the title insurance. Other fees, let's say closing fees, things like search fees may vary between title company to title company. But the actual title insurance is supposed to be the same for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you governed by state laws?
Yeah, we're going by the Department of Finance,
Okay.
who oversees us.
Oh, okay. State, is that state or federal?
No, it's state. It's
Okay.
Yeah, for instance, you have to be licensed. I can only work I can work anywhere in Florida, but only Florida. So if I wanted to, let's say, do closings in Georgia, I would have to get licensed in Georgia.
You're a lawyer. You're a real estate lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Is all you do is just strictly title work?
Right now, I'm fortunate enough that I'm busy enough. That's all I need to do. And basically, I have a good network of other attorneys that I work
So
with.
someone has a
Yeah,
real estate
I'm
contract.
always able to guide them to the right people.
Okay. So the name of your company is Supreme Title and Escrow. And give everybody your website address.
It's just www.supremeclosings.com with an S. So
Kind of like
Supreme-
our phone numbers. We don't ever dial
Yeah,
ourselves
Supreme-
anymore. We don't go to our websites
so
anymore.
Supreme Closings with an S.
So tell me, what is the biggest thing that people do not understand about title companies? Because before you came on, we had questions because we have a lot of homeowners, and people did not really understand. I don't know why, because maybe they're in Palm Beach and they don't have to pick. It's already done for them. But we have a lot of people in Broward County. What do people not understand about title companies?
Well, first is a lot of times when I tell people what I do, they think I deal with cars, like car titles.
Okay.
That's first. So a lot of people don't realize that we're talking about real estate. The second, a lot of people don't see the need for it almost. You know, they feel like they don't need title insurance, let's say.
They want to roll the dice?
Like, for instance, with when a lender's involved, they have to get it. The lender's going to make them get it.
Right.
When they're paying cash, they technically don't have to get it if they don't want to. But like me
In
personally,
any county?
in any county,
Wow.
yeah. But me personally, like I am an attorney, and even if I was doing my own closing, I would still get it because you can never know what could happen. Because see, as I said, our job is to give clear title to the buyer. You know, we said we check with the city, the county, the state, but we hire like companies to do the searches for us. You know, like for instance, I use Old Republic, which is our title insurance underwriter. They've been around since the 1800s, so I use them to do our title search. Then we use what's called like a city lien search companies to check with the city. But people make mistakes as well. Even though the goal is not to make mistakes, the people doing the searches are humans. You know, I've had like this, let's say for instance, the city saying there's no code violations, you close, and then you find out there was violations on the property that they didn't disclose. So if something like that were to happen, like say it was a human error where we didn't know about it, the person would be covered. So like purchasing a home is a huge investment. So I think it's crazy, you know, like for instance, let's say a $400,000 house, maybe the title insurance is $2,000, but if you're spending $400,000 cash and not willing to spend $2,000 for insurance, in my opinion, is nuts.
A lot of scamming going on out there.
So, yeah, scamming too, 100%. There's
People are under foreclosure and they don't say it. They're trying to get out of their house. You're going to be able to tell the buyer if there's any liens on the house, foreclosures, everything.
everything, but just like you said, like scamming example, like years ago we had a deal where it was a person, he created a company, called it like Federal National Mortgage Association, and he did fake quitclaim deeds into that company. So, and then he was selling the properties and renting them out. And when you look, you think it was like Fannie Mae, you know, who owned the property, because it was like he created this company, and it was actually just some scam company, and he was like transferring the properties to his name and trying to sell it. So, let's say that happened to you. Let's say you were the buyer of one of those properties, right? And then later on, it was discovered that that deed, when he transferred the property, was a forgery. The title insurance would pay your money back. But if you didn't have title insurance, you'd be stuck.
Wow.
So-
Especially if you're in Broward and you have to choose the title company, Supreme Title and Escrow. Give everybody your phone number. We're going to go to break.
954-726-5580. 954-726-5580.
We're going to go to break. When we come back, more with Giovanni.
Supreme Title and Escrow Incorporated is a full-service title insurance agency offering lenders, brokers, and real estate purchasers a complete range of residential and commercial real estate title and closing services throughout the state of Florida. They also offer a full spectrum of escrow services from builder escrows, bulk sales, commercial, land, industrial, resales, and refinance transactions. Whether you are purchasing your first home, refinancing, or closing a multi-million-dollar commercial transaction in Florida, their escrow staff is ready to make your transaction happen. At Supreme Title and Escrow, their primary role as your title, insurance, and escrow company is to perform the necessary steps before your real estate transaction is settled so that you do not encounter any problems after the transaction is closed. Contact Supreme Title and Escrow today, as they recognize that any real estate transaction is a big monetary event in most people's life. Contact them at 954-726-5580. That's 954-726-5580.
Oh, okay.
Oh, move the microphone closer to your mouth. And we are back, kind of looking outside of our studios in beautiful Boca Raton, and ugh. Anyway, we're here. The first 30-minute show, Ask the Expert show, is we're talking about title companies. We're with Giovanni Nicosia. Did I pronounce it right?
Nicosia.
See, that's what I said. Whatever he said. But anyway, he is the owner. He's an attorney. Makes a big difference when you go up against people. An attorney Supreme Title and Escrow. Now you're located in Davie, but you have offices.
Yeah, Boca, Las Olas, Plantation.
See, we learned something new today. In Broward, you picked the title company.
The buyer.
Yeah. So now, who do you represent?
We're technically supposed to be neutral, I guess you could say. For the closing, we're supposed to technically not represent the buyer or the seller, but in reality, we are representing the buyer because they're the ones who are getting the title insurance. If they have a problem, we have a problem, you know? So we have to make sure everything is perfect for that buyer or we're not closing. So if there are, let's say, code violations that can't be taken care of, we can't close. We don't just say, let's just close just to make our quick money and move on. No, because if they have a problem, the first person they're going to call is me. And if I have too many problems, I'm going to lose my license. So
Does the buyer pay you?
no, it just are the normal fees.
Okay.
So yeah, there's no attorney fee, extra attorney fee. No.
Can you give good juicy stories for us?
I mean, actually, I didn't do this closing. I had an interesting call about a week ago from a realtor asking for advice, and she closed on Friday. Her clients got about $60,000 at closing, and they paid off one mortgage. On Tuesday, she gets a call from the title company who did the closing that they found that there was a second mortgage on the property that they didn't pay off, and they're asking basically now the seller to pay this, but it was like $90,000.
Why would someone do that? It's going to be found out.
First of all, I think the title company really screwed up.
Okay.
That's first of all. My first instance was also that kind of the seller was wrong because he should have told them about it.
Yeah.
But I found out later what happened was the seller did one of those like loan modifications where I guess he thought it was waived. But in reality, what they did is they agreed to waive it as long as he owned the house for a certain amount of time. But if he sold it within that time, he had to pay it off. And he didn't realize it. So basically now 90,000 is owed. He only made 60,000, so really he wouldn't have closed if he knew that had been paid off. So in reality, based on because of the title insurance, the buyer is definitely protected. So the buyer doesn't have to worry. Even though that mortgage is there, even though let's say that mortgage said we're going to foreclose on you because it wasn't paid off, the buyer's protected because the title insurance will pay that. But what will happen, the title insurance will pay that 90,000, and they're probably going to sue that seller, you know, for the 90,000, and then the seller may sue the title company, you know, saying, you know, this was your screw up. I wouldn't have closed if you had told me.
They tell him though.
It should have came up on the title search. I really don't know. Like, but as I said, I mean, if it was on the title search, it was definitely their fault. That's why me personally, like I said, I used to do the title searches myself when I first started, but then I started using Old Republic to do it for me because this way, if they make a mistake, it's on them. They can't say, "Oh, you missed this," you know, like.
So that gets rid of some of the liability.
Oh, completely liability. Yeah, like for instance, a few years ago we did a closing for a cousin of mine's mother-in-law, and the title search just said one mortgage. That's what we collected for. That's what we paid, and then basically, about a month later, she gets a letter from somebody saying we have a second mortgage on the property. It wasn't paid. If you don't pay it within 30 days, we're foreclosing. So imagine as like a new homeowner, you get a letter saying they're going to foreclose on your property. You're going to freak out. She contacted me. I contacted Old Republic. No questions asked. They paid it because they saw it was their mistake. They couldn't blame me saying, well, we told you and you missed it. No, it wasn't on there. Somehow they missed it. Like I said, people who are doing the search are humans. They make mistakes. We all make mistakes. So
where do you see real estate going? It's, they lowered the interest rates again. The Feds did. Where do you see interest rates going down anymore?
I don't know if they're going to go down more, but they're incredibly low right now.
Yeah.
I still think it's, amazing time
Great
to
time to buy.
Yeah, I mean, it's Florida, even though today's not too great of a day. It's still the place to live, so.
What about cancellations and getting your deposit back?
Okay.
What are there guidelines? Are there rules? Are there statutes?
Okay. Well, basically, when a person goes under contract, generally they're giving an escrow deposit. And the escrow deposit is to show that, I guess it's to protect basically the seller, this buyer's for real, and kind of, I guess, put some skin into the game, I guess you could say, for the buyer. What happens is, even though they give a deposit, there are ways they could still cancel the contract, get the deposit back. The first would be the inspection period. So generally they're going to have, let's say, 10 to 15 days for inspection period. And during that time, if they find something wrong with the house and they don't want to proceed, they can cancel, get their deposit back. There's also usually, if they're getting a loan period, let's just say 30 days. If during that 30 days the buyer acts in good faith and truly tries to get a loan and they're denied for the loan, they can cancel and get their deposit back, okay? But there are situations where maybe the buyer didn't do it during those times, or for something happens, they try to cancel, and the seller may want to make a claim on the deposit, okay? But if that happens, it's not like we can just give the check to the seller, okay? Even let's say, for instance, I feel the buyer's completely in the wrong, let's say, I can't just give it to the seller. We have to get what's called like a release and cancellation, like some mutual release signed by both where they agree to give the money to whoever, either party. Without that, I can't give it to either party. So what happens is if neither party wants to sign that, we have to put the money in the court. We have to file what's called an interpleader action. What happens is it's a lawsuit, like where we are the plaintiff, Supreme Title, and we sue both the buyer and seller. And we tell the judge, Your Honor, we're holding, let's say, $5,000. They're both making a claim on it. We don't know who's it's entitled to. We want you to make the decision. So basically, we file a lawsuit, sue them both, put the money in the court, and now they have to fight it out in court to determine who's responsible. I mean, the problem with that, though, now you have
Does that happen much?
It doesn't happen much because my ultimate goal, I never want to file it because, see, when I file that, since I'm the plaintiff, I have to actually hire a separate, even though I'm an attorney, I have to hire another law firm to hire me. They usually charge about $2,000. So as soon as they file a lawsuit, the first thing they do, they say, Your Honor, we were hired to do this. Out of that $5,000, pay us $2,000 attorney's fees and $500 in court costs. So now out of the $5,000, there's $2,500 left. And now that's what they're fighting over. So I try to explain that to people. Unless it's like really a large amount that's in escrow, it's not worth it. The best bet is always to try to work it out because now even yourself, now once it's there, now you have to get an attorney. You have to pay attorney's
Attorney
fees.
who doesn't want to litigate?
Well,
Who wants to take care of his clients?
Yeah, I sleep well at night. I
Yes.
don't steal from anybody, So basically, I always try to get them to work it out. But sometimes, no matter how much you try to get them to work out, some people are stubborn and they don't want to listen to you. And you have to do that. You have to file it. But then once I file it, it's out of my hand. Now it's in the court's hand, and I don't have to worry about it anymore.
So I want to my final question is, why should I retain your company?
Well, one, we've been around, like I said, 17 years. We've been there through the good times. We've been through the bad times.
You have.
And we'll keep being there. So it's not like a fly-by-night company. Like, when the market crashed, title companies went out of business left and right. Now that things are better, you're seeing title companies open up left and right. I'll get a contract or I'll get an email and I'll with names I've never heard of before. So who knows if these people are going to be around, in a couple of years. So one, I'm reputable. If we were to make a mistake, I stick to it. I don't shy away. I don't, I take care of it. My reputation is important. If you look me up, I teach classes for both that's actually now they changed the name. It's Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, St. Lucie Realtors Association, the Miami Board of Realtors Association. I'm the only attorney in South Florida who teaches the contract class for both associations. I'm on the board of directors for the Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, St. Lucie Board of Realtors.
Not part of AAA bail bond.
No, not that. So, as I said, I have a good reputation.
Listen, you've been in business for 17 years. That alone says it. Let's tell people how they can reach you.
Well, our office number is 954-726-5580, 954-726-5580.
And your website?
www.supremeclosings.com with an S. Supremeclosings.com.
Got a great website. I've been to it 2 or 3 times. There's a lot of really good information on it. Give them a call. You know what? If you've got a relative that is, especially if they're in Broward, that has to decide who the title companies are going to be, now you know a great company. They don't have to Google somebody. Again, the name of the company is Supreme Title and Escrow. They're located in Davie, but they've got locations everywhere. The phone number is
954-726-5580.
And Giovanni will be back with us again next month. If you've got any questions, of course, you can always email me. We've got our name up on our website. Stephen at AskTheExpertsRadioShow.com, and we'll make sure, because we're going to be opening the lines up next month. We're going to actually ask for calls next month, and we'd love to have you. We're going to go to break right now. When we come back, we have our air conditioning show. We'll be right back. Yeah, they're going to do his commercial again, and then the next show's commercial. And I'll send you dates.
Okay.
Did you get the show?
Last one I did.
Oh, good.
Well, I mean, you'll send me this one too, right?
Yeah. Put it on your website?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So before each break.
Supreme Title and Escrow Incorporated is a full-service title insurance agency offering lenders, brokers, and real estate purchasers a complete range of residential and commercial real estate title and closing services throughout the state of Florida. They also offer a full spectrum of escrow services from builder escrows, bulk sales, commercial, land, industrial, resales, and refinance transactions. Whether you are purchasing your first home, refinancing, or closing a multi-million-dollar commercial transaction in Florida, their escrow staff is ready to make your transaction happen. At Supreme Title and Escrow, their primary role as your title insurance and escrow company is to perform the necessary steps before your real estate transaction is settled so that you do not encounter any problems after the transaction is closed. Contact Supreme Title and Escrow today, as they recognize that any real estate transaction is a big monetary event in most people's life. Contact them at 954-726-5580. That's 954-726-5580. At Envirotech Air Quality.